Glorious day to you, my friends. Kia katar anahatakari hisatar ate. Welcome to day number 100 of Shine, Stargate Heart, Illuminate Your Natural Essence, Siha katakari acha, where we are spending time with our inner being. We're exploring our inner being by chanting Om Mani Padme Hum, Uskaya Achara Hatakariya. And we're doing this 108 times using the Mala of Joy. In this Mala of Joy, we are breaking up the 108 seeds into 9 groups of 12, for no particular reason, at my whim, Spirit gave it to me. Anyway. And these 9 groups each represent one of the chakras in our Merkaba, our light body, our ascension vehicle. And these chakras are Vasundhara, the Earth Star chakra, Muladhara, the root chakra, Svadhisthana, the Uttara Achikayeta Karata, the flow, the sacral chakra, there we go, Skayata. Manipura, the solar plexus chakra, Anahata, the heart chakra, Vishuddha or Vishuddhi, the throat chakra. They just interrupted and said, please call me Manipurika today. I want to be Manipurika. Vishuddha or Vishuddhi, Anya or Agnya, the third eye chakra. And yesterday you got a flavor of why my people call it Anya instead of Agnya. Because we're not commanding the universe, we're turning our brain off. Sahasrara, the crown chakra. And at the top of our Merkaba is Vyapini, the soul star chakra. So then we break up the 12 seeds into in each of the chakras, in each of the 9 groups, we break up the 12 seeds into 4 groups of 3, and this is modeled after Samavriti Pranayama. Box breath, where we breathe in the energies, invite it in, allow it in, invite it, of the chakra, of the ideas, or just of our inner being, and that's what we're going to get to today. The next 3 seeds or 3 days, we're holding our breath with a full set of lungs. This is analogous to the full moon, okay? We're in the full moon energies. There's a full moon at 2:35 Eastern tomorrow, Uttura Ashka'iyata Karayata. And we're in this last sip of energy coming in. We've got the full set of lungs. We think we've got them all full, but then we're going to breathe in, and then breathe in, then breathe in, then breathe in more awesomeness. That's what we're doing today. Is it what we're doing today? Let me see here. We did 96, so 7, 8, 9. We're done with the breathing in. We're at the holding the breath phase. So we just sipped in yesterday. There we go. Now, I'm totally embodying my sarcastic yogi today, so bear with me. And then the next 3 seeds or 3 days, we are breathing out. And see, that's the best part about the whole thing, is that we just set the intention. We just start the process of breathing out. This is what we do at the height of the full moon. As soon as the moon stops becoming full, which is these next 3 days, we breathe out. We just say go, okay? And then we don't do anything. Our body, we relax, our body will breathe it out. The whole first half is the sympathetic nervous system, and the whole second half is the parasympathetic nervous system. But we're going to find out today. I'm going to place some ideas on the coffee table of life today. About your true power. We're breathing out. Okay? Our inner being is radiating this energy out naturally, effortlessly. There's really nothing for us to do. we set our intention and our inner being goes, Uttarya Chaha. And then for the last 3 seeds or 3 days, we hold our breath with an empty set of lungs. We're embodying the energy, okay? We could think of it as we're holding on to the ideas of the energy that have already been radiated outward, but the truth is of our inner being, it's never really ever going to stop radiating, okay? Just this cycle that you think is air that you're breathing. Now we're in that aspect of we don't care whether it's air or not. We're going to hold our breath and we're going to embody the ideas and principles of that chakra, or better yet, we're not going to do a thing because our inner being is going to do it. So some of these ideas on this coffee table of life that you get to choose to pick it up. So thank you, Michael Myers, for Coffee Talk. I love the idea that we just place ideas and it's up to you whether you're going to pick them up and you're going to integrate them and use them. Well, each of the Bij mantras for your chakras are telling you how to fix the situation. When you're in your grief, Yam is helping you, reminding you how to get out of your grief. When you're in your fear, Lam is helping you. Remember that gratitude, is the freedom aspect or the alignment aspect of fear. Because when we're thinking of what we're grateful for, we're not thinking of what we're fearful of. So the Bij mantras in Muladhara is Lam. In Svadhisthana, it's Vam. In Manipura, it's Ram. In Anahata, it is Yam. In Vishuddha or Vishuddhi, it is Ham. In Anya or Agnya, it's Om. Sahasrara, we also use Om. And at the beginning of Vyapini, I assigned Eye-eem to Vyapini and Hrim to Vasundhara, okay? And the easier idea of thinking of Vasundhara is surrender or letting go. And the easy idea of Vyapini is allowing, or we're letting in, or we're inviting, okay? The more engaging thing is to invite it in. But that's active, okay? So all these ideas, Lam, gratitude, Vam is the easiest to translate, but it's the hardest concept to understand. Okay, so we're going to skip it for a moment because to me, I always translate it as essence, but that's not helping you get back into alignment. Ra, I can write all day about Ra, okay? It's your light, it's your radiance, it's your fire, it's your inspiration, it's your will, it's everything that Manipurika is all about, okay? But if we just think of it as radiating your joy, okay, that's how we get back in, okay? Yam, it's... These things are all just coming out of each of the chakras, reminding us of how to align. We can say it's that. We can go down to Yama, the god of, at the feet of our lotus, the god of death. But why is it death? Yama. Ma is not, but it's also prohibition. Don't die. Don't. We're getting rid of not love, okay? I like to translate Yum as love and internalizing the love. But this idea of love, it's a hard thing to understand because we want to claim it's one of these human things, but this love up in the highest source of consciousness is the peace, is the moksha, is your inner being, is the holy fire, is joy, is compassion, is harmony, is kindness. And it's everything that has to do with alignment. So utur atakatakaryata atarata. But if you subscribe to love is the answer, no matter the question, then why wouldn't that be the thing that you're emitted from your heart? Atakaraskata urhutuku. And why wouldn't that be the thing that you're putting into your heart? Atakura asahanakaerata. Okay. Hum, besides sound, hu. My favorite Mongolian band is the Hu. Hu. Hu, hum, om mani padme hum. It's about the body. It's about the human beings. They derive their name in Mongolian. It's the humans. Okay, we are the beings, and it's akin to what the Lakota call themselves. They call themselves that. It translates into English as the human beings. They're the living ones. They're the awake ones. And then the white men who came, they're the ones who were asleep and they were dumb and they did not see the spirit in everything. The human beings. That's what this is about. You being I am it. I am my body. I am my breath. I am everything. Owning it. And then seeing the whom and everything else. Seeing the spirit, seeing the truth, letting them be their own person. In the Om, like we said yesterday, it's the no mind. With the no mind, we're not creating this duality, we're not judging. It's also the hardest thing to get to, which is why we're practicing, and which is why when we realize that we're not in that state of no mind, that we just go, oh, okay, what do I do now? Oh, I get back into alignment, I return my awareness to the breath, to the chant, and it'll happen when it happens, or it won't happen when it won't happen. Om, the same thing, the no mind. We're not attaching, we're not dressing up, we're not adorning. And with Eye-eem and Eye-eem, what came to me this morning about Eye-eem and Eye-eem is like my philosophy on how I allow and broadcast Reiki. When I'm walking around, I'm broadcasting it. And to me, that's what Eye-eem means. I'm radiating my inner being outward. Okay? And if you see me walking around anywhere, if you've walked anywhere with me, yeah, there's a dance track going on in my head, whether my headphones are in or not. There's a little skip in my beat. I'm dancing, I'm smiling, there's a smirk, and people wonder what's going on in my head. Well, there's a dance party. And so I love hanging with my friend Rebecca because she's got the dance party going on too. And if we hear any music going on, we just pause and we just are into the groove, and we just take the 2-minute dance break. It's simply amazing. So this broadcasting of your inner being, we'll just call it that way, okay? When most people learn Reiki, we teach to ask permission before sending Reiki, okay? Because if we don't ask permission, then it could be egoic and judgmental. I think you need Reiki. I'm going to pray for you. It's kind of like thumping the Bible. So to help us as a practitioner get out of our own head, get out of our ego, get out of anything, it's just like, may I send you Reiki? May I offer Reiki to you? And if they accept it, then we send it. And if they don't accept it, then guess what? It was egoic. After a while, as the Reiki master thinks they're evolving, they say, well, I'm going to ask their higher self. Okay, I'm going to ask their higher self if I can send them Reiki. Okay, well, cool. And then they send it. If they get permission from the higher self, they will send it. And at the beginning, maybe it's egoic and judgmental, and maybe it's not. As another, in my evolutionary process as a Reiki master, sometimes when I heard it, I picked up an egoic vibe from it, and then my judgmental self kicked it. But I was also knew I was called on to broadcast this energy because I can't keep it to myself. But then I made an agreement with the energy. I'm going to broadcast it everywhere, okay? If they want it, then they can pick it up, okay? I'm not going to overwhelm them. I'm not going to put it out there to say that you have to do it. And it's not like shining a spotlight from your house into your neighbor's house. It's not akin to that, okay? Because this is subtle energy of the universe, and it understands who wants it, who doesn't want it, okay? But then I also had an agreement with the energy that Spirit will let me know when somebody's picking up on the energy. So yeah, listen to that. When the energy ramps up, because I notice that it's being drawn from me more. And it's really funny when one becomes a Reiki master, you can see other Reiki masters because they're walking around in a certain, at the beginning, it's a certain walk and a certain confidence and a certain light that's emanating from them. And once we get to understand more of the energy flow and we see the energy, you go, I see you. Yeah. Rock on, Reiki on. Yeah. Takariata horota. We all radiate any energy anyway, and that's what creates our auric field, our subtle body, and it's just a natural process of our cells, of the interaction of our physical body. It's also a byproduct of our chakras and the energy field and the energy flowing through it. It's just a natural thing. Everybody has an aura, and when somebody's in your space, their auric field is in your auric field, and either you're uncomfortable or you're comfortable with it. We all have this ability. Where were you going? Yeah, so we didn't do Eye-eem. So this is when we turn on Reiki on, just by saying Reiki on, it starts to flow. Okay, it starts the flow of Reiki, and Reiki is being sent to the destination, the client, whatever. Okay, automatically. You don't have to do anything at all. Okay, and the one way I drive this point home is like if you're driving and you're in an emergency situation and you need to send Reiki to prevent an accident from happening because you see it happening. Are your guides who are sending the Reiki going to wait for you to draw out the symbol, the appropriate symbol, in the appropriate manner, and for you to say the symbol name 3 times and clap it in? They're going to wait for that entire process to happen before they start sending Reiki? No. Okay? You see it as soon as you get the intuition to start sending Reiki, it's being sent. The symbol drawing and the saying it and the clapping it in, we still do it. But that's also reinforcing within the master that this is the process, and this is a simple name, and this is the energy, and this is what's being sent. And it's also a focus and a concentration. Oh, gee, didn't we do that in one of the 8 limbs, Ashtanga? Niyata arihisko utura? Asihiture ashahatarvata. So by the question I want to ask you today, Ariyarahanaka, apparently we're not getting to what I thought we were going to talk about today. Since we're in the exploring the energy of Vyapini, we're asking our inner being, what does it mean to truly allow spirit or truly allow your inner being to fully interact with the universe? Okay? Because your inner being, so let's think of it as a sunroof. Okay, one of those manual sunroofs where you've got to twist a knob and crank open the window. Okay, your inner being knows how to crank open this window. Okay, and your inner being can control the flow of energy coming in from the universe. Okay, whether we feel overwhelmed or not. Okay. And if we start to feel overwhelmed, our inner being is going to know it, and it will restrict the flow. It'll offer resistance to the flow, so that we're not so overwhelmed with emotion or overwhelmed with presence of whatever it is. Okay? And we all have this ability, is we draw in our aura because we're trying to hold our energy tight because we're not sure of all this energy. Once I was just walking around a psychic fair, and I saw this 11, 12, 13-year-old girl there with her mother who was going to get a reading. I saw her energy all tied up in there, and then she was all uptight, and she was so uncomfortable being in that room with all that energy, all that psychic energy. So I go up to her, I say hi, and I say, what's going on today? And, ease into the conversation. You seem a little uncomfortable. She says, yeah, there's a lot of energy here. And I go, can I show you a trick? And what I had her do is look at the light in her heart. Okay? And then she saw it. She goes, okay, I see it. Okay. Now, focus on it. Now ask it to get bigger. Okay? And she goes, okay, good. And move your hands to where it is. Okay, and she moves her hands out a little further. And I say, okay, keep getting it bigger and bigger. Push it outside your body. Okay? And does that make you feel better? She goes, yes. How about this? Fill up this whole room with your light, okay? And then she does, and she goes, oh, look at that. And she goes, yeah, I can stay here now. This is what we're doing with the divine flow. This is what we're doing. This is how we can handle any situation. We just shine our light. This is the simple truth of it. And with this idea of Vyapini, because they're all just ideas, these chakras. You can think of them as physical energy centers. You can think of them as a part of your physical body, as a part of your subtle body. But this is you and your inner being controlling, influencing, ruling over your reality. How much of the outside world do you want to let in? And it's not this outside of the physical world. It can be just this energy, but it's all the flavors of the awesomeness that's out there. And you can set your intention. I only allow in that which is for my highest good and the highest good of all. Guess what? We put a filter on it and we said, only allow in the purple light, okay? We put a prism up and it separated the rainbow, and the low vibrations aren't getting in. We're only allowing the high vibrations because I only know how to deal with, or only want to deal with, the high vibration. Okay? Once you get totally accustomed to it, it's an idea for another day, but I'm going to say it, is that it doesn't matter what the vibration is. When you know your own inner vibration, which is why we're doing this whole thing, once you know it and you trust it and you understand that your inner being has the ultimate vibration already, there's nothing to seek, there's nothing to find. It has it, you have it, and even better than that, you are it. Okay? You are it. Then any vibration that comes in either gets purified, or you don't interact with it, like yesterday's link in the comment, the immovable object versus the irresistible force. Okay? You naturally do this already because you don't see the fourth dimension and you don't see the fifth dimension. You are already filtering that out. This confidence will come over time. And this confidence will come by you spending time with your inner being. I told you stories of a game I play with myself, with my inner being, with my guides. And the idea of separation I'm playing with my guides is when I go to bed at night, I say, show me this. And when I wake up, I have the answer. Okay? One day, I said, hey, show me this playground of ultimate creativity. Show me a planet where I can create whatever I want on it. When I woke up, I got one Sanskrit word. Okay? Suskahanata. It came off as one word. I wasn't into Sanskrit back then. Okay? I was just diving into analyzing ancient languages. So, Hebrew, Akkadian, ancient Hittite, and I didn't speak light language yet. So, and since my people know I like a challenge, I'm going, okay, Suskahanata, let me go look it up. And if I remember correctly, Suska is barren. Okay? And there's no way that my ego or my memory could have, my human memory could have came up with Suskahanata. Anyway, you can go look it up. Shortly after I became a Reiki master, I had a dream of this negative entity coming to harm me. And in my dream, I say to this negative entity, I go, do your worst. I'm a Reiki master. I have the living life force energy coming through me, okay? And when I woke up, I'm going, I guess I really am a Reiki master, iskoturia, because I understand the energy and I understand what's possible with the energy. Ni aturu utukariataha. That it's all up to me. But the belief happened. And then I can start being it and living it. And that's, if there's any goal whatsoever, that's it for this whole series, is that you play with your inner being. You listen to your inner being more and more, okay? And that's all alignment is let me go see what my inner being has to say. What does my heart say is another way of saying it. Instead of inner being, because sometimes you think there's just something else that's living inside you. Well, yeah, it's you living inside you. But when we say our heart, what does a heart say? It's an easier thing to understand. And then by listening to our heart for advice, maybe we start living in it, this Brahma Vihara, this abode of God, and living more of our joy, our harmony, our compassion, and our kindness. Yes, I'm so amused. Because it's all up to you. And I can take the sarcastic approach. Maybe tomorrow we'll talk about solipsism and idealism. Because the solipsistic approach is that it's all happening inside my head. So then the sarcastic yogi in me goes, why am I making this series? Am I really making it just for me? And yes, that amuses me. Hopefully I find it funny when I view it. And if you knew me as a kid, yeah, I was an idealist, and a perfectionist. Anyway, we'll leave it at that, because this is really about you and your inner being. One last thing, this no mind thing. Yeah, sometimes it's a difficult thing to grasp, but to me, what I like about the fool's journey in the tarot, is that this no mind in our human form, in the living form, is really it's beautifully represented as the fool. Okay, it's our inner playful child coming out and interacting with the world instead of all these other analytical approaches of living life. Are we engaging in life like this foolish individual that sees the good in everyone, that sees the best in everyone, and sees the possibilities? Because your highest source of consciousness, that's all it sees, is possibilities. Oh, what is this idea of allowing? Tomorrow we'll talk about passion. Being impassioned. And passion versus dispassion. We'll see if I remember it tomorrow. Harisha Kotar Sanati Dada. I'm just amused at how I'm creating my reality lately. I think about something and like 2 days later, it's like happening in front of me, and I'm getting confirmation. And it's just so hilarious. And so what was, I didn't confirm it, but there's a difference between muse and amuse. Muse in Greek, all you Greek speakers out there, correct me. Muse is to think, and amuse is to not think. And isn't the fool walking around all amused, not thinking, just doing as their heart sees fit? Instead of looking for the muse in the outside world for the inspiration for you to do things or to overanalyze everything. So again, what does allow mean to you? And can we See what happens. Maybe while we're breathing and focusing, your inner being can play with opening and closing the opening of Vyapini, of allowing more spiritual energy in. Turning on the faucet and turning it on full or fuller or fullest or fullester. I like that, fullester. Apparently, if there's fullester, then there's fullestest. Oh, really? You want to mention it now? So the thing that I did not mention the other day, that they mentioned in the middle of me talking about Anya, or when I was Schrodinger's cat and the double slit experiment, Rujanaman. Super genius natural mathematician in India, early 1900s, we'll say. He started writing a Cambridge math professor in England, and he was amazed at some of the proofs that he naturally came up with. He brought them to England. He gave a new perspective, okay? So in calculus, in mathematics, there are these things called infinite series. And the whole point of this is what happens when you think outside the box, okay? And what happens with observation. So it was really more relevant yesterday or the day before. I can't remember when I was talking about it. Because right now it's now. So Rujanaman, so there's this famous infinite series. 1 plus 1 is 2. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 10 plus 11. All we're doing is adding 1 to the previous number and then summing it. We're adding it all up. What is the sum of the positive integers? Okay? So, as calculus teaches us, or as your intuition is stating, we're going to infinity. Okay, because we're adding 1 and we're adding 1 and we're adding 1 and we're adding 1. This sum, if we take the partial sum, we stop at any point in time, we're getting closer and closer and closer to infinity. Okay, so calculus says as x approaches infinity, the limit is infinity. That we keep going towards infinity. Okay, yeah. It's 100% correct. But this guy, Rujanaman, offered up a proof, and it's a very ingenious proof, that when you add up all the numbers, the positive integers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and you keep going, but you keep going. When you add up all the positive numbers, it equals, wait for it, negative 1/12. Okay? Scratch your head, but when you look at this simple proof to it, maybe I'll find a link and I'll put it down in a comment. It equals negative 1/12. Well, it has to do with the argument of observation. When you stop to observe this infinite series, in the middle of its infiniteness, it creates a sum. Its value is determined. You have opened the box and you now know that this cat is dead or alive. Okay? You have observed a particle in a double slit experiment. Okay? But if you allow it to play out, its infinite potential. It's infinite potential. if you allow it to play out its infinite potential, its sum is different. Its sum is mind-blowingly awesome. And what can we learn about this universe by allowing infinity to play out? The infinite potential to play out. And that's what this ultimate allowing is allowing your inner being to infinitely play out, to play in. And that goes with the no mind. You know what happens when we just let our inner being be and play like the fool and allow infinity to play out. And the way I like to see it is when we were in Vishuddha, we talked about it's the force carrier. This vibration is the force carrier. I like to see it as the force being like little marbles that are being pushed along by this slinky of the vibration. It's riding the waves of the vibration, okay? The force is being carried by the wave. And that's akin to allowing and radiating by being present in the moment, okay? By releasing and letting the past go, we can be more present, okay? And by not worried or looking forward to too much of the future, we're more present, okay? That's what we're practicing. But if we experience this now, by the time our senses tell us what's happening, it has already happened because of the delay in this physical body, this delay of this physical universe. So if we listen to our core being, we're already creating the new now. And if we can get to this edge of creation, if we can get to, like the wave, we're surfing, okay? If we're riding this wave of creation, where we kind of observe this now, but we're focused on this next now that we're creating, which is our joy. It's our joy. Our foolish, abused joy. That we then, this universe unfolds with amazement and amusement. And as we ask our inner being, what is this allowing? How wide can this thing go? When I play with the opening and closing of this allowing of the awesomeness of the universe, what is my infinite potential? Or what does it do to the flow of awesomeness, and what does it do to my potential? So utara arkanata atita karahatatiraha. Kashahesa atukuru uta hashahesa hakatirata. But that's up to you. Sa akatagiriata atara arsohonoto urtukuto. Kishihisakataka, just like it's up to me. Arar sahananaku ura. Hakaheshisa ayatata ara hakanahi arataka. Okay, I'll back up out of your personal space now. Utur arakanahasa ayakatatara. Hisha. And since I've been talking so long, I'm going to cross my legs again, back to where they were originally. Let me see if I'm on mute. That would totally amuse me. And that would be all the confirmation of my solipsism, and that I'm doing this all just for me. There's no way anybody can amuse me more than I can amuse myself. So I invite you, let us slow things down. I invite you to relax. Whether you lie down, you could lie down in Shavasana, in corpse pose, to say goodbye to your old mind, as you Say goodbye to the old you. Uturu ashahata. As you release the old you, uturu, the old ideas, akatara ara, the old breath, niaraska takara, or whether you sit or sit in seated meditation, niatara artakana nirata. And if you're sitting in seated meditation, with a straight spine, niara ashatoro atakata, owning your energy, niara saheta atara arsha, allowing it to flow freely, niuruso uturu shahenata karata. Kahea ka asa ariataha, kohushoro tokoro, aya arahasanata karahiatata. As we slowly and consciously breathe in, Nioroto Utara, Hisahakai, Atanada, Utoro Urutukara. As we slowly lengthen our breath, and we slowly lengthen our exhale. As we feel how it feels to breathe in, and we feel how it feels to breathe out. And in the idea of allowing and inviting, we're only going to focus on the in-breath. And simply exhale. As we feel how it feels to breathe in, and simply exhale. As we notice the sound of our breath on the inhale, and we simply exhale. As we feel how it feels to breathe in, and we simply exhale. Now let us focus our awareness on our heart center. For in our heart center is our inner being, Niarata Atakariata, our holy fire. Si ukutoro ura atakanata ariata. In every breath that we take with intention, Niatata Arya Sohotoro, fans the flames of our inner being, of our holy fire. Niatara Arhasata Karatata. Revs your engine, Niatara Arhaska Eatara Arisana Hearatahatara. And it increases your light. Niurutu Ura Shaha raises your vibration. Niatara Atara Harakahirataha. And by doing so, Siitur Uriara Chahatara breaks up the debris, Niara Sahaya Toro Utananata Karahata, the obstacles, Ni Akara Arata, that your debris creates, Ni Huturu Uchaya Asahanaka Takarahata. Breaks them down, Ni Oriocho makes cracks and crevices, and this light, Siuturu, this vibration, Ni Arya Shahakotoru, makes its way out, Uturu Usheatata, to the perceptions of your conscious mind, Niariacha Atoro Uturu Hutu, to the perceptions of your body, Ariasahakara Uturutu, radiating outwards and perceptible by all. Atayara Atara Arasahanara, Ishahatara Arakonoto Urohusa Aya Akatara Hata. Let us leave it at that. Yatakanata arahatakariya sahatatara. Because your inner being, yatata arahasakatatara, is already siitur utur shahetakariyata, the infinite source, niatara arashahatara arasuhuturu, and the highest source of siitura, sahatara, kichaatiwaraha, consciousness. Si ukutura atanata hari aratsane herata. So uturu aya aka ashi sata atara arhisa ataka ata arahasa tatiriata. So we will purify atarwa shu uturu utananata arata from the inner being outwards today. Niara sahikaturu uturu ashahiata ata with words. Si ikutura shaketa because we were always doing it that way all along. Niara shahikaturu utura shaketa. So let us take this energy, this already pure, so uturu utata arihatatara, energy from the heart center, niatakaryacha atoro tokurro, and spread this identity, niaryacha atoro, this no mind of the consciousness, niakachara ata, this om sa'iyata ara atakaryarta, through all of the chakras, thus oming the chakras. We're going to om it. Utura araskanaha atida arta. We're going to om each of our chakras. We're going to om our heart, takara arahasana takara. And as we move this energy up to Vishuddha, we're oming Vishuddha niyata arahasuko torata. We're oming Anya niyata araskananiti ariartata. We're oming Sahasrara niyata araska atur. Moving it up through Vyapini niyarya sha'atat. We're oming Vyapini. We're oming our allowing ni'atar arsananiriata. And we're oming everything outside. Ni'atar arskananatakara. We om it. Isha tar arakananata. And then back down. Nioro osokotoroto through Sahasrara, Anya, oming it through Ki uturu utana atara arsana etara shihisa ata, oming Vishuddha, oming anahatar artakananata arashaketiri arato. And in this idea of grounding, niarashuko, we're going to om our grounding. Niurusa atara arshkanahatorata. Moving it down through Manipura, oming it, iskutur atara arshanayatorata. Down through Vasundhara, oming it, Niuru Sahatira Araskanahatarati. Through Muladhara, we're oming it, Iskata Ara Seitor Tora Tateriata with our inner being, Ni Tarar Sahaya Hata. Down through Vasundhara, we're oming it, Niarayachaka, and all these ideas of surrender, of release, of radiating, Niuturu Utukariata, we're oming it, Na Takarara Takasiata. And aiming it. Iskahatar arsahikata. You guys rock. Hasitor ornoto urutaka. We're aiming it and oming it. Nita ara arsahika asa akatura atara sahita. And then all these ideas of earth, nihakatakara, we're oming it. Iskotukuri. And then back up. We're aiming and oming Muladhara, aiming and oming Svarstana. We're aiming it and oming it. We're aiming through Mulad, Manipura and oming it. Si'ita Ur and oming our aim. There we go. Iska atigara. And back into a Nahata. We're aiming it and oming it and aim and oming our aim. Iska iatara atigata. We're just going to continue. This we are our inner being. Niara Osotoro. We're aiming and oming our aim. 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 And we're allowing our inner being to continue this divine flow. Niyato uru atara arahasita ashahanata ata isho otoru utananataka aratiti ariata hatara. And we're aiming outwards. Si'ituru utukuryuto. And we're oming it. We're oming our aim. Ni ara arshka eturu atara askita. And we're radiating it outwards from all of our chakras, from our physical bodies, from our auric field, and into every aspect of our awareness. Emergencies are happening somewhere. People's realities are crashing in. In every way, and everywhere, and everywhen. But other people's energies are revving up. Niatara iskada arturo oro ora hasa akatira atanaha. Sahitar arhanata eta arshaya ahakanoro uru hutodari arataha. And since we're oming it all, we don't need to create a chest, and we're aiming it. Siitoro utanata aratatara. We'll just get into the meditation. Te oro toharasa atakarata. So today, we'll start off with one Om and one Aim, then one Aum, then one Eye-eem, because we're oming and aiming and auming our aim. Visata aryata'a. Then we will chant Om Mani Padme Hum 108 times using the mala of joy. Sa'ayata urayata aryata kara. The default audio track will keep count, so will I. It'll let us know when we move up through the chakras. I'll raise my hand. And it'll let us know when we're on the last one. And at the end, we'll reverse the process. We'll close out with one Eye-eem, one Aum, one Aim, and one Om. Si utur arhanaka ata arahisa achihisa atara arhata haka. And a breath in for Om. Om. Revving up for Eye-eem, for Aim. And a breath in for Aum. Aum. And a breath in for Eye-eem. Eye-eem. Starting off with Vasundhara, and a breath in to chant. Huturu utura kahana padme aryataha ishahatara ahyata ayakahanata arhataha. Aturu hatkaharatihi aturu utaraha atura anahaka eraha atuta Asha, Itara, Aturu Hokodo, Huturu Utana, Ishahakara Harataha, Uturu Utura Nata Iriaraha, Kuturu Hutur Hyanaha, Aturu Hokotaraha, Aturu Ushanaka Irahatarahata, Itukoroto Huturu Hanata Arahatita, Aturu hayata amani ichahatara haratana achakahatata haraheta haraha adoturutuha mani padme huturuha hishahaka atara hatara ichohutur unahatara harita mani padme hum itaharata Kono tohoroto utora atara hataka.
Om
Hatu
Mani
urhutahaya.
Padme Hum.
Isha hatara arkanahata. Kochohorota atara atina.
Om
Icha hatara
Mani
arakahanata
Padme
ahata.
Hum.
Huturu ana. Isha hatara arkanahatara artida.
Om Mani
Haturu uhutora hata.
Padme Hum.
Kono tohorota. Arawahatara arahakeyata ata.
Om
Huturu
Mani
uta. Ichahata
Padme Hum.
arahaka. Moving up to Muladhara. Huturu
Om
uhutura.
Mani
Uturta.
Padme Hum.
Ichara hasaakana atar atari. Hutukorota atara. Icha
Om Mani
iskanahatara.
Padme Hum.
Itor uhutadara hata. Ishahanata arahatakarata. Aturo
Om
hukoro hata.
Mani Padme
Aturo
Hum.
hukatara artana hatara hata. Ishahakara arahatatara
Om
Konoto horota.
Mani Padme
Hatara
Hum.
harakia atara hata. Hitor uhuna atita harataha.
Om
Hatara
Mani
harana haka.
Padme Hum.
Hatur hukotoro hatara arka. Hataharataha. Atakoroto huta.
Om Mani
Shahanata arataha.
Padme Hum.
Hatur uhuta harahatakarahe. Achkaratihi. Haturo
Om
huguranaha.
Mani
Isohotoro
Padme
hatana
Hum.
hatakarahata. Hatakaratihi. Ishahanata arahate.
Om
Hitoro
Mani
uhukotara hatara.
Padme Hum.
Isahanatara. Kichaharate hitoro hutoro. Kanata haratehi.
Om
Hitoro
Mani
hukotara hata.
Padme Hum.
Itoro uta. Ishahanata arahate taha. Utur usha.
Om
Ikanata
Mani
arahatita.
Padme
Tarahararta
Hum.
anata arita. Koto huroto hushahia. Iskanatara
Om
hatara hate.
Mani Padme
Koto huroto
Hum.
hutara hata. Kitita harata hinata a. Ishahakara arhatata
Om
haratihi.
Mani Padme
Utur
Hum.
hata. Moving up to Svadhisthana.
Om
Uturu uha.
Mani
Ishahanata
Padme
ha.
Hum.
Ishoto uro ta atara harkaheta. Achakarati hita. Uturu
Om Mani
harahata.
Padme Hum.
Ishkonoto urota a shisha atara. Konoto horota.
Om
Atiharata hatara.
Mani Padme
Ishayaka
Hum.
aturu. Kuturu hotara. Iskanahata. Ishahatara. Itoro.
Om Mani
Utukoroto hatara
Padme
hashi.
Hum.
Kanata aratihi. Koroto hoto. Tanata arataha.
Om
Korahashi.
Mani Padme
Atakarataha.
Hum.
Hisohudoro utanatahara. Ishahatara haka.
Om
Itaharata
Mani
hayataha.
Padme
Haturu
Hum.
uhutarahata. Ishahanaka. Itiariarataha. Turu
Om
uta.
Mani
Ishahakara
Padme
aratahi.
Hum.
Ituru hukutura arnata arati. Hatur uhutar hatita hata.
Om Mani
Kanata
Padme
harataha.
Hum.
Uroto huturu utana. Kata harata hetara. Konoto hurutu
Om
uta.
Mani Padme
Hatite karata
Hum.
hata. Hiso ukuturu uturu ushaya. Kita hatara.
Om
Konoto hurutu
Mani
hutore.
Padme Hum.
Uturu uhuta tahara hatara. Kanata hareta ata. Konoto hurutu
Om
uta.
Mani
Hiso uturu
Padme
utanata
Hum.
aratita. Konoto huruta atara. Isha hatara ita.
Om
Ishahaya.
Mani
Aturo utu
Padme
unahatara.
Hum.
Moving up to Manipura. Ututo
Om
huturu.
Mani
Chaya hakara
Padme
hasana.
Hum.
Itoto uhukaya hatsatirara. Sahakara hata.
Om
Uturu uhukatara.
Mani Padme
Isa
Hum.
ataharataha. Konotohorota, Ishahakata Arharate,
Om
Kuhutu
Mani
Taharatita,
Padme Hum.
Sihitara Harakana, Haturo Hukotorohta, Ta Taharatihita,
Om Mani
Utukarata,
Padme Hum.
Hashihikuruto, Hutuhuruta, Yayakahasanata Atatara,
Om
Ichohoroto Hutoro,
Mani Padme
Kataharata
Hum.
Hitahara, Katakara Shihisukutara Kashihesahana,
Om Mani
Turuhutarana,
Padme Hum.
Ichataharata Hetiraha, Konotohoroto, Hutura Hashaya,
Om Mani
Kanata Hatara
Padme
Atitaha,
Hum.
Huturu Eta Arahata, Isahakata Arhatatira,
Om Mani
Kutura Usha,
Padme Hum.
Hisata Tarahatara Akata, Hutura Hanatida,
Om
Doshahea,
Mani
Kanata Karata
Padme
Hatitaha,
Hum.
Isahakara Arhasisaha, Utuhoroto Huturaha,
Om Mani
Kotohorata,
Padme Hum.
Ishahakara Arahane, Hitoru Ota, Hutur Hashaya,
Om Mani
Konoto Urutu,
Padme Hum.
Huturu Uta, Arakahara Shihi, Iskanahatara Arahti, Haturu
Om
Uta,
Mani
Ata,
Padme
Arahika,
Hum.
Ataharata. Moving up to Anahata, Huturu
Om
Uturu Hushaya,
Mani Padme
Kanataharati,
Hum.
Huturu Urshanatakaha, Otar Atina Tarahasa,
Om Mani
Otora Hutura
Padme
Hashieta,
Hum.
Kanata Arata Atitaha, Huturu Uhukatara Akahera,
Om Mani
Kanatitaha,
Padme
Aturu
Hum.
Hukuturu Huta, Ashihikuru Uratahatera, Aturu
Om Mani
Ichahatara
Padme
Haratahita,
Hum.
Huturu Uhuturu Hutara Harakirata, Ishahanata Aratiteria,
Om Mani
Huturu Hutashi,
Padme Hum.
Ituru Hutur Urshana, Atur Ayakatar Arsanayatara,
Om
Ishuhatara,
Mani
Katita Harata
Padme
Atitaha,
Hum.
Kuturu Utara Arshihikata, Aturu Kana, Aturu Huturu
Om
Utanata,
Mani Padme
Ishata
Hum.
Atehiriata Hatara, Konoto Horata Ishahakatara
Om
Aratihitara,
Mani
Huturu
Padme
Unahatara
Hum.
Arkita Harhatita, Atura Hayata, Atutu Horoto Huturu,
Om Mani
Ishoto Urutita
Padme
Harata,
Hum.
Kacha Arata Hayata, Huturu Ukuturu Utanata,
Om
Hutara
Mani
Arsaneta Arahati,
Padme Hum.
Aturu Hukuturu Utanata, Ichata Ataharati Hita, Konoto
Om
Horotaha,
Mani Padme
Ishahakatara
Hum.
Aranahatakara, Ichoro, Uturu, Akahara,
Om
Isahakanata
Mani
Arahayata
Padme
Hatara.
Hum.
Moving up to Vishuddha. Huturu
Om
Uta,
Mani
Akaharataha,
Padme Hum.
Ishahakara Arana Titiariataha, Uturu Utunutora Shaya,
Om Mani
Atakarata
Padme
Hatitaha,
Hum.
Utur Anatakaretaha, Atur Ayahashayara,
Om
Atur
Mani
Akanata,
Padme Hum.
Atutu Urota Atara Arshahana, Kataharata Hirata,
Om
Atura Hayaka
Mani
Ara,
Padme
Aturu
Hum.
Huturu Utunata, Hatatakare Shisaha, Atura Hayata Ara,
Om Mani
Achkarata
Padme
Hirata
Hum.
Atarahata, Kutut Utara, Ichkarata Hareta Harataha,
Om
Utur
Mani
Hutura Aranata,
Padme Hum.
Ishahatara Arakanata Arataha, Itot Uhuruta
Om
Aratahiriata,
Mani
Atur
Padme
Hakara
Hum.
Aran, Ishahatara Aranati Rarata, Itot Uhurutu
Om
Urahashaya,
Mani
Atakarata. Itoto uruto utoro urshana. Isukutor ushahasa eta arahatakarahata. Atitakarataha. Atoro ukoro uta. Ishuhutoro aya hakara arahasanata. Aturo urtahana. Ichahatara areka asehanata. Aturu uhuturu atura shahaya sahana. Katata arataha. Haturu ukuturu uturu. Isha ata atakara. Moving up to Anya. Uturu uhuna. Iskahatara aratihi. Aturu uturu anahakara. Haturu uruta arahatita. Arakara shahana. Isahakatara hatara ishahanata. Atutu uhuruta hatara hakia. Ichkarana harayatara. Aturu huturu ushana. Hisukurota atara iataha. Aturu utana. Atkarataha. Ishohotoro uhunataka arataha. Icha atara itonaha tamani. Parutu urutu arashihika. Kanata arataha. Ishahanata hariyatara hasarukoto. Atoro hukotoro hasana. Ichaharara tekiarata ata. Utoro uhutoro. Itara harakanahasa. Aturu hukotoro utarwa ashihita. Aturu hukota. Kanata arahatati. Aturu uturu ushayana. Chaya atatirianya tahakatu. Uturu hukaya asha. Aturu hukotoro anata arataha. Ichahatara. Iskanahatara arti. Hiso uhukut urahaya. Kanata aratihi. Ishahatara arakanahati. Isha ata. Itukoroto. Uta. Ishahanata karatahati taha. Kanatara. Soto uruhutatara. Moving up to Sahasrara. Uturu uta. Ashkanahati tiara. Aturu huturu hutanahaka. Ichahatara rekanatara hisaha. Uturu hukatorahaya. Ichahararta anatakarata. Ishahatara arkanehituru huturu. Shayata aratikiara. Kanata haratihi. Aturu tkarshihi so utara. Ishuhuturu ukutara. Isahanata arahekiara harata. Kotoro utara ishahatara. Katiti ariara takanata. Ituru utara. Kanata haratihi. Aturu ukushaya atara ika. Haturu utanatara. Karashahya kaa. Uturu hukuturu ashahya kaa. Kayata. Nisuturu utakanata arahata. Haturu utakarshahya. Aturu hukuturu ushanahata. Kita atara arkahayata ara. Kuturu utanana atiriyara. Oturu hukusha iya kaara naata. Hisahakatara rakihata. Oturu hukutaraha. Ishahakara rahiana to. Ichahara. Iskuhoroto utoro. Itar artana hatakarahitoro. Ishuhotoro utoro haryana. Atukoroto hutoro. Hotoro hutare ishahanata. Iso uto urakaha. Moving up to Vyapini. Koto uhuta. Itura hatara arahanata. Atara arakahirta. Otora hatanaha. Ichuhurata atara arakana. Itot uhurta. Arkaratahi. Atur hukutura urshanata. Atut uhugaya. Atukurata aranaha. Atur hukutura husha. Antakarata hitaha. Atur hukona. Atura eata atara hata. Huturu ukana. Atara ara. Hatut uhutu rutaha. Kanataharata. Atur hukuturu una atara arka. Hutur utana hasa e. Atur oriataha. Kotohorota atara arakihirata. Hutur uhunata ara. Korohotor uraka. Kotor ukutur urshahana. Hitor utur urshanata ta. Katur hukutur uta. Itor hutur anata arasha. Hisa akatar artkana hayata. Otohorotaha. Otokorataha. Hiso hukutur utanahata arahati. Atakarataha. Aturo hukuturo hatana. Last one. Hitor uhuta atakarataha. Ishaha anahata racha. Inner breath in for Eye-eem. Eye-eem. Inner breath in for Aum. Aum. Inner breath in for Aim. Inner breath in for Om. Om. Stay here for as long as you like. Maybe even pause the video to spend more time in the energy. When you are ready, slowly bring your awareness back to the here and now. Slowly increase your breath. Becoming more aware of our breath, more aware of our surroundings. Maybe invite in some gentle movements. Maybe wiggle our fingers and toes. Maybe come out of seated meditation like I had to. Invite in the blood flow in the limbs. And when you are ready, slowly open your eyes and welcome in the new now, Utur Arakatiriareta, and the new you, Utur Aranatikarieta Ata, Hatita Arata Atida Arata. I invite you to journal about your experience today. I'm sorry, not sorry about the length of these videos. We weren't supposed to be talking today. You were supposed to be exploring your inner being today. Exploring your aim. And your chrim. There's a rap there somewhere. Anyway, I encourage you to journal about it. No matter how you do it. Maybe make some positive reinforcing statements about it. And I'm so amused at when this truck revved its engines at appropriate times during the meditation, and when when we got back up to Vyapini, when the two police cars went by with their sirens, people's realities were crashing down. They were having 911. Look at the energy I can let in. Look at the awesomeness of it's your playground. The playground of your mind and the playground of your heart. The playground of your inner being. When you om your aim, and you allow the infinite possibilities to play out, it can beyond your belief and your expectations. This should be the last day, because I don't know how they're going to outdo that. So I thank you, my friends. Namaste. Iskutur, the light in me. 100% recognizes the light in you, encourages that light to shine. That's what Hrim means. Hrim means shine. That's what aim means. Allow your shine. Aim Hrim. With the Om, the no mind. Because you can. 1:22:22. So thank you, my friends, for sharing in my highest bliss. Shine on and make it a great day. Because you can't leave it up to anybody else anymore. You know too much.